My name is Sarah Feely. I was formerly working in human resources management in a corporate environment for the last 15 or so years, and was very stressed and overwhelmed and got very burnt out. So, through working with Leandra, I was able to really work on adjusting my lifestyle to help, balance work and life, reduce stress and anxiety. And my lifestyle right now is very different. I have, resigned my job and I'm working on building my own coaching business and really creating my own life or designing my life the way that's going to support me best. So I discovered Leandra through a retreat that she was offering in Sedona, Arizona in September of 2019. And the retreat was absolutely life changing. It set me on this path of really claiming, I'm going to say sovereignty. She uses that term so much. Really claiming my sovereignty of who I am and what I want for my life. Because at the time that I met Leandra, I was stressed out, anxiety. I was having lots of physical health issues as a result. I was working 60 plus hours per week and I had no work life balance, no good relationships with my husband or friends. I didn't have time for that. I didn't have time to take care of myself. And through both attending her retreat and then working one-on-one with her after that, I really was able to work on changing my lifestyle. So I worked with Leandra for, it's almost 2 years now that I've known her and been working with her. And I worked with her on numerous different events that she has offered. So I've attended a retreat. I worked one-on-one with her. I've attended her introductory workshops for Breath of Love. Um, and I worked with her on her 6-month group mastermind. So when I started working with Leandra for the one-on-one coaching, my goals were to really understand what I wanted to do with my life. I knew I needed to make a major change because I wasn't happy where I was. I was stressed out, I was anxious, I had no work life balance, and I knew that I didn't want to work for a corporation and continue on that path of working for someone else. So when I started the one-on-one coaching with Leandra, my goal was really to understand what it is that I wanted to do specifically so that I could change my life, change my career, and start working for myself. But also, as I started working for myself, have that work-life balance and that lifestyle that I desired. So much has become possible through working with Leandra. It's almost I can't name it all or put it all into words, but really through working with Leandra, I've changed mostly. A lot of it was mentality shifts or mindset shifts that she took me through that I didn't even realize needed to change. They were, programs in our unconscious mind, things that we pick up from our childhood, from our parents, from the way society ingrains certain things in us, and we're not even aware that we're running these programs and these thoughts and beliefs in our minds. And, when I started working with Leandra, I thought I needed just some concrete tips on how to change my life and, figuring out what kind of entrepreneur I wanted to be. But she really helped me to dig underneath the surface. And when you dig underneath, it becomes such a deeper transformation because you're really changing who you are at the core rather than just changing some of the surface level things, like the fact that I didn't like my job or that I was unhealthy. So through the transformation of changing my mindset and really we work on things like self-love and putting myself first and working on having boundaries and working on trusting myself and my intuition and trusting my instincts and being able to tap into my body in a way that I never had and really just coming home to myself. And through that, I built trust. I built a relationship with myself. I built an inner confidence and an inner knowing that then guided me to the lifestyle that I wanted to claim. And so, as I said, it was such a deeper transformation, a deeper level of understanding yourself. So now I've been able to totally transform my life and my lifestyle in a way that truly deeply supports me and who I uniquely am, instead of what I thought I needed to be or what I thought, society needed me to be. And, the transformations have been physical, so I take much better care of myself. I've lost a lot of weight. I have reduced the prescription medications that I take. I have reduced my anxiety and my stress and improved my mental health as a result of those changes. I have completely changed my day-to-day lifestyle. My life, as I said, I used to work 6+ hours per week and not have any time for myself. And now, I take the time to cook, which I really enjoy, and I cook really healthy meals that support my body. I have a routine in the morning that really supports me and sets myself up for success in the morning. So I'm taking that time to me first thing and putting myself first. I have a meditation practice. I just general have a very calm and balanced lifestyle. And because of those things, I don't get as anxious anymore. I'm not as angry anymore. My relationships with my family and especially with my husband have improved. I'm so much happier, you know. And yeah, there's just been so much that has transformed as a result. So much of the limiting beliefs that I needed to work on, as I said, it's unconscious. You don't realize it. And Leandra really understood how to dig underneath the surface layer by layer, because again, we're not aware. So sometimes you have to, get to the surface and then keep digging down to the bottom to really get there. And so this one limiting belief, as I said, it took about a year to really get down to the core of it. So as I said, one of my goals was I was working 60-hour work weeks. I was working late at night. I was working on the weekends. I hated my job. I did not want to be working that many hours per week. But when I started working with Leandra, I was such a workaholic and a perfectionist and a people pleaser that literally I was saying to Leandra, I just want, to be able to take a break in the middle of the day and not have this hectic pace and work 12-hour days. And she was trying to walk me through, the baby steps of like, well, just take a, 3-minute break from your desk, walk away, take some deep breaths. And when I started working with her, I couldn't even do that. That was so difficult for me because of my limiting beliefs that I always had to be working. I had to work hard in order to receive love, in order to be accepted by others, in order to be, a good worker. I had to be putting in all of these hours that I felt I couldn't even step away from my desk for a few minutes to take a break. And we kept working through those challenges and we kept building upon those baby steps. So much so that we had on one of our coaching calls, I was speaking with Leandra about I really wanted to set a goal for myself of ending work at 5:00 p.m. and no longer working in the evenings. I was ready to claim my evenings for myself because we had worked on some of these limiting beliefs. And she said to me, like, what's the worst if you just stopped working at 5:00? What would really happen? And prior to that moment, I was running this limiting belief of, honestly, I thought if I stopped working at 5 p.m. and did not work late in the evening or wasn't available to answer emails, answer phone calls, that I would get fired. I was that much of a people pleaser that I thought, my boss wouldn't like it, my coworkers would reject it, and I was going to get fired. And Leandra said to me, well, isn't that what you wanted? You don't like your job, you want to quit. So if you get fired, is that the worst thing? And I said, no, it's not. And it was that moment that I realized it was completely my own programming, my own limiting belief that was keeping me working. And it was no other external pressure. My boss was not putting the pressure on me. My coworkers were not. It was me running the limiting belief and choosing to work late into the evening or, still be available to answer emails or answer phone calls. And I had come to a point in working with Leandra that I realized, again, I am empowered. I can choose myself. I can choose to put myself first and love myself enough to change that limiting belief. And when you change your limiting belief, you change the behavior. And so it became so simple for me to then, wrap up my workday at 5:30 and really guiltlessly have the evening to myself and not feel like I had to check emails. But it was really, again, she was able to peel that onion layer by layer to work on that big limiting belief of being a people pleaser, feeling like I always needed to be working in order to be loved and accepted by others. And we got to a point where I was able to have my own insight that I was the one running that program. And it made the outward change of ending work at 5 p.m. so much easier because we had really done the work underneath of that behavior. I would absolutely recommend Leandra to my friends or family. I have recommended her to a few friends that are struggling with similar things as me, like anxiety or, working a lot or wanting to really examine their life and change who they are at the core. I would say to anyone that, is thinking about working with Leandra to absolutely do it, because she is such a powerful transformer. She just, really is so patient and so insightful and so deeply knowledgeable about how to get underneath of what's going on and work with you to change those limiting beliefs and empower yourself to make those changes in your life. So yeah, I would recommend anyone. Now that I've been working with Leandra and gone through such incredible transformation, I would tell my former self, don't hesitate to work with Leandra. It might be a lot of money, but it's so worth it for the transformation that you're going to go through. And don't be afraid of change, because being afraid of change is very normal. Everyone gets afraid of changes, especially when they know deep down that it's going to be a big change. But I would tell my former self that, you will change in ways you couldn't even imagine when you started working with Leandra. And your life is going to get so much better and so much bigger than you could have dreamed. So don't hesitate. Don't be afraid. Just sign up and go all in and go for the ride, because you'll be so glad.